Good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you're joining us today in today's live lecture coming to you from Nkola Mahadum Wisdom University. Today's date is Eke Market Day in the Igbo lunar calendar and 10/28, 2025 in the Roman Catholic calendar. And remember, at Nkola Mahadum, we always advise you to use your naturally given common sense, which we call Akonuche in Igbo language. Also, Nkola Mahadum was set up, was founded to provide you the correct education, the correct information, and put you in the correct direction than the misinformation, miseducation, and misinformation from our colonial masters and their stooges and institutions in our land and all over the world. That's why we encourage you to please join us on YouTube, subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Facebook, like, comment, and share so that we know how you're feeling. Because you have to see things from how it concerns you, not how it concerns other cultures. Every culture is protecting their own for their survival. If you do not protect your culture, you will be gone and forgotten. And the title of today's lecture is the review of NNamdi Kanu trial of yesterday, 10/27/25. And after that, we shall listen to what Nwada Nneka Chimezie said to the governors and to the Igbo race. In addition, we shall also listen to an Igbo person in Abuja who experienced the Sharia law in Abuja, the state capital, the Nigerian federal capital. Sharia law operating in Nigerian federal capital. And finally, we shall show you a video of the release of Omoyele, Sowore and Alloy Ejimakor and what they have to say. And so, beginning with NNamdi Kanu's trial of yesterday, we want to also refresh your memory how Kanu got to where he is today. NNamdi Kanu was preparing for his court case in Abuja when his house was invaded by the Nigerian military on September 2017. And in that invasion, about 28 people were killed, including his dog, and so many corpses were found around his house. But he narrowly escaped death and fled. And then subsequently, he was illegally abducted in Kenya and renditioned to Nigeria on 18th of June, 2021. And since then, he has been in TSS solitary confinement in underground cell up to today. And they've been taking him back and forth from the cell to the court, several appearances. And in one of those appearances in court, the Nigerian Appeals Court on October 13, 2022, discharged and acquitted NNamdi Kanu. But the Nigerian government refused to obey their court order. Now, after that, the federal government went to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court, even after saying that it was wrong, that the Nigerian government violated international law to illegally rendition NNamdi Kanu from Kenya, he now said that the case should go back to the High Court to start again, that the case should start afresh, even after they went to kill NNamdi Kanu and he fled, and the Nigerian government breaking international law and brought him back to Nigeria. And the Supreme Court is saying he should go back instead of saying discharge this man. And so that's where we are now. The case has been in the Federal High Court with Justice Omotosho presiding. And then many lawyers have represented NNamdi Kanu, Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor and Ozekome. And currently, though sacked, those who took over from Ifeanyi Ejiofor and Uzokeme, San Kanu Agabi. But Kanu Agabi and his team were sacked by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on October 24th, 2025, where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu decided to now defend himself. And on that day that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu decided to defend himself, he let the court know. He told Justice Omotosho that he doesn't have jurisdiction, that his court doesn't have jurisdiction to continue this case. But Justice Omotosho refused and said that his court still has jurisdiction. And then Mazi Nnamdi Kanu again protested and said that the Nigerian Medical Association reports should be listened to, should not be actually be accepted, because his health condition will not allow him to be coming to the courts. That because of his health condition, the case should be discontinued, in addition to the fact that the federal government doesn't have any local standing to continue the case. But also Justice Omotosho rejected that. And now, what actually transpired yesterday in today's court is that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said that Justice Omotosho told Justice Omotosho that he reviewed his case file and observed and discovered that there's no valid charge against him, making his defense unnecessary. Because when he came to the courtroom yesterday, Justice Omotosho wanted him to open his defense. But Nnamdi Kanu said that he looked at his case file and discovered that he doesn't actually have anything to defend, because the Nigerian government doesn't have any case against him. And then the judge told him to write it down, and serve the prosecutor, which is Ademoyega Awo Molo. And then Omotosho advised Kanu to consult criminal law experts about the implication of his choosing not to defend himself, to say that he doesn't have any case to answer, to review it. And after which the court was, adjourned to November 4th, November 5th, and November 6th. So this is what transpired yesterday in the courtroom. And then in our research, we discovered that the Nigeria amended their terrorism charge. A 2011 counter-terrorism charge was reviewed and amended in Nigeria in 2013 and also in 2022. And that is what Kanu is saying, that because these counter-terrorism charges have been amended in 2013 and 2022, that it doesn't apply in his situation, because Nigeria currently doesn't have any serious counter-terrorism charges in either their constitution or their law. That is the basis of Kanu's stand, by saying that this case, he doesn't have any case to answer. And also remember that even when his house was invaded by the Nigerian forces, Nigerian army invading his house has rendered Nigerians' stand to prosecute him illegal. In addition to his rendition from Kenya, breaking international law and convention to illegally abduct and rendition him to Nigeria without following the internationally acknowledged process, also makes Nigeria unworthy and doesn't have any local standing to continue the trial. So all this being the truth, because only the truth will save Nigeria and the world. All this being the truth, why is Nigeria continuing with this trial? Why? That is the question everybody is asking. And plus, they are saying that the charge should start, according to the Supreme Court, The Kanu's trial is now starting from 2015. If this case is being, is starting from 2015, why are you then using things that happened in 2020, the NSAS protests, the killing of Ahmed Golak, and others? Why are you using them as basis to try a case that's supposed to start in 2015? Those are the questions many people are asking. What is going on? Why is the Nigerian government confused? And even the consortium of lawyers, NNamdi Kanu lawyers, have this to say about this trial. The Global Defense Consortium of the detained leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, NNamdi Kanu, has issued a petition faulting the Supreme Court's judgment of December 15, 2023. This consortium of lawyers are saying that the Supreme Court judgment of December 15, 2023 is illegal. And that Supreme Court judgment reversed the Court of Appeals discharge of Mazi Kanu and ordered his continued trial. So instead of the Supreme Court in December 15, 2023 to uphold the appeal court's discharge and acquittance of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they instead told Kanu to go back to the Federal High Court to begin the case again. That is not how it's supposed to be. And they continued. The petition, which they wrote on September 19, just few days ago, and obtained on Friday by the whistleblower, was addressed to the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Honorable Justice Kudirat Moto-Mori Olatukumbo Kekere Ekum, alongside Justice Mohammed Lawal Gaba, Ibrahim Mohammed Musa Salawa, Tijani Abubakar, and Emmanuel Akomoya Ajim, who sat at the panel that delivered the ruling. The judges that sat in that Supreme Court ruling, this petition was also, sent to them. And then Njoku Jude Njoku Esquire, who signed on behalf of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Global Defense Consortium, described the ruling as per incorium, and one that threatens not only one man, but the very foundation of Nigeria's constitutional democracy. That the digdaling, the failure of the Supreme Court, the inability of the Supreme Court to stand on the truths of the appeal court that released and acquitted Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and told him to go back to start the trial again in the High Court, is like trying to shake the foundation of Nigeria. Because the judiciary is trying to damage Nigerian foundation. That's what Mr. Njoku is saying here. And continuing, most Nigeria's legal system being destroyed just to jail one man. They are doing everything just to see that they put Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in jail, even when they don't have the rights, when they have violated international law, even when they don't have any local standing. They're just doing everything, turning everything, bending things just to make sure they put him in jail. Njoku asked, why accusing the justices of subordinating the Nigerian constitution to statutes, thereby undermining its supremacy? What they are saying is they are now rubbishing the Nigerian judiciary system, that the Supreme Court rubbished the Nigerian judiciary system by not upholding the appeal court judgment that released, discharged, and acquitted Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And then quoting section 1, bracket 1 and 3 of the 1999 Constitution, the petitions stated by subordinating section 36 CFRN, fair hearing to statutory jurisdiction under the Terrorism Prevention Act and section 251 CFRN, your lordship inverted this hierarchy. The Constitution does not bend to status, which means they are now bending their Constitution. They are now bending their status. They are not following things the way they're supposed to follow things. That's what they are saying here. Just to jail one man, just to rubbish one man. And you know that as Nnamdi Kanu is in detention, so is the Igbo race. Just to jail the Igbo race, just to quell the Biafran agitation, which is legally enshrined in the UN and African Charter. The consortium also criticized the courts for treating Kanu's extraordinary rendition from Kenya as a mere issue of illegal arrest. That the rendition from Kenya shouldn't supposed to be treated as a mere arrest. It is a violation of international law. It is a violation of Kanu's human rights to illegally abduct him from Kenya, beating him up, drugging him, and sending him to Nigeria without the Kenyan authorities knowing. And even a court in Kenya have also ruled against that and said that that is illegal and that is unconstitutional, that Nigeria failed it to illegally abduct him from Kenya to Nigeria. And then, so what Mr. Njoku is saying here, representing consortium of lawyers, so they are criticizing the courts for treating Kanu's extraordinary rendition from Kenya as a mere issue of illegal arrest, citing Ogugu versus State, 1994, 9 NWLR PL 366 1 SC, which it argued fair hearing is non-derogable right. That fair hearing is a non-derogable right. That you must give fair hearing to anybody, no matter whom he is, whether he is an Igbo man, whether he's a Yoruba man, whether he's an Hausa man, whether he's an Fulani man, whether he's an Ishekiri man, whether he's an Ijo man, whether he's an Ibiri man, a Tibi man, anybody should be given fair trial and follow your law. Don't bend it because it is somebody else. Keep your law the same. That's how they say that foreign judiciary, they say that the law is blind. It doesn't see anybody. You just have to say it the way it is. Follow your law the way it is. Don't bend it. That's what they're saying here. They continued. Extraordinary rendition is the opposite of due process. It strips the trial of competence ab initio by validating it. Your lordships sanction the destruction of due process of law itself, Njoku wrote. So by not stating that, by not, standing firm, standing strong, and say that this extraordinary rendition is wrong. If you try to bend it, my lordship, what you are doing is destruction of due process of the law itself. You are destroying the law, the due process, where you don't stand firm and say that extraordinary rendition, when you are extraordinarily rendition somebody, you don't have any right to continue to try him. That's what they're saying here. By doing that, you are destroying due process of the law and of the system and of the government. And nobody is safe. Because after Nnamdi Kanu, you will do it to somebody else. So this consortium of lawyers continued. Another key plank of the petition was the claim that the ruling destroyed the constitutional protection against double jeopardy, with the lawyer noting the Court of Appeal's discharge was a final acquittal, that the Court of Appeal decision was a final acquittal, that Nnamdi Kanu has no case to answer. Nnamdi Kanu is supposed to be now either in London or in his house at Afaroku or anywhere free without anybody disturbing him. Reversing it and sending Kanu back to the trial violates the constitutional prohibition of Arofoi's acquit, the petition stated. So by asking Nnamdi Kanu to go back to the High Court to start again, that's what they're saying, that it violates the constitutional prohibition of Arofoi's acquit, because he's already been acquitted, released, discharged, and acquitted. That the Supreme Court is supposed to be Supreme Court and do the right thing and not allow itself to be twisted or influenced or bended, by the executive. I think that's what's played out here. Why the Supreme Court did not stand their ground, that their pay cost decision on Nnamdi Kanu must be obeyed by the Nigerian government. Continuing, they referenced FRN versus Ifegu 2003, 15 NWLR, PT 842 113 SC, where the Supreme Court held that the protection against double jeopardy is absolute. That the Supreme Court is supposed to protect double jeopardy. That the Supreme Court committed double jeopardy by allowing this case to go back to the High Court instead of telling the appeal court, telling the Nigerian government to obey the appeal court's acquittal of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The defense team also accused the justices of ignoring statutory safeguards in both the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, ACJA 2015, and the Extradition Act, saying if such protection are mandatory, even for intra-Nigerians arrest per ACJA, how much more for a cross-border abduction from Kenya? By overlooking this, your lordship rewarded illegality and entrenched lawlessness in Nigeria. What they are saying is that for the Nigerian government to go to Kenya, crossing so many borders, go to Kenya to rendition Mazi Nnamdi Kanu illegally to Nigeria, and the Supreme Court cannot stand and say this is wrong, that this is wrong, that the Supreme Court is trying to protect, that the Supreme Court is trying to reward illegality, the illegality of Nigerian government to go to Kenya, and entrenchment of lawlessness in Nigeria. That's why you see what is going on, lawlessness everywhere. There's no rule of law anymore. The judiciary is the pocket of the executive, and they don't have the power. The lawyers are insulted in the courtroom. The lawyers are arrested arbitrarily and insulted by the police. And so, if the Nigerian government cannot obey their own judgment, and the police force of the government is arresting lawyers, isn't that entrenching lawlessness in Nigeria? And that's what everybody is witnessing. And that's what they're saying here. And then they continue. The consortium further faulted the ruling for this regarding the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, which has been domesticated in Nigerian law. That Nigerian government is supposed to obey the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, which is part of Nigerian law. They didn't obey that, because when they were bringing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you can see that he was drugged and beaten and maltreated and denied his rights and dehumanized. That's what they're saying here. That it faulted the ruling for the Supreme Court disregarded the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, which is in the Nigerian law. That's what they're saying, which is wrong. And then they continued, a 5-man panel cannot validly override binding 7-man panel precedents. They are saying here that the 5-man are in the Supreme Court, but 7 judges were in the appeal courts. Yet, this is exactly what your lordship have done. The petition said, citing Abacha versus Fawemi 2006 NWLR PL.660 228 SC. Summarizing its grievances, the consortium warned that the ruling had destabilized the Nigerian justice system, that the ruling of the Supreme Court, by not upholding the appeal court's release, discharge, and acquittal of NNamdi Kanu, that the lordship, those in charge of Nigerian judiciary, they have destabilized the Nigerian justice system by collapsing constitutional rights into trivial irregularities and endorsing state lawlessness. Isn't that what you are seeing in Nigeria? The police behaving anyhow, the army behaving anywhere, all the forces behaving anyhow, the executive behaving anyhow, even the Senate people, the people in the National Assembly, everybody behaving anyhow. Everybody, everywhere is lawlessness. Because there's no law. The law is not being implemented the way it should be. Some people are above the law. That is the problem. And that's what they are trying to address here. Now, they continued, the question is simple. Must Nigerian constitutional order be upturned just to jail one man? Should you upturn your constitution just to jail one man? So after you jail him, then you go and change the constitution again for other people. Is that right? Is that how to build a decent society? Society of equality? Society of giving everybody a sense of belonging? That is the question we are asking from Nkolom Wisdom University. You have to use your common sense. If the constitution is no longer supreme, then no Nigeria is safe, the petition declared. If the constitution is no longer supreme, then no Nigeria is safe. This is the end of the reaction of the consortium of lawyers that came together that are defending Nnamdi Kanu. This was a petition they filed to the lordships of the Nigerian government on September 19, 2025. So you can tell from this, everything going on, that Nigerian government doesn't have any local standing, doesn't have any rights, have broken international law, have broken Kanu's law, natural law, to go to somebody's house to kill him, and he was able to escape. Many people were killed that day, and after illegally renditioning him from Kenya, now you are trying him. Trying him for what? That's why we are saying he should be released unconditionally. So having said this, if you are an Igbo man, anywhere you are, how do you see what is going on? Do you just feel comfortable that, hey, this is okay because it's happening to Kanu, or because it's not me? I'm okay in Lagos or Abuja or Kanu or United Kingdom or Australia or Ireland or in America or Canada or in Saudi Arabia. You're okay there, it doesn't concern you. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Even if you are in foreign land, outside Biafra land, you cannot stay there forever. If you stay there forever, you will lose your generations. You will lose it. And our land, our Biafran land, is where you have a lot of resources. If we control our resources, we will be one of the greatest nations in this world. And your generations will benefit immensely if we succeed in getting the Biafran nation restored back. And that's what Nnamdi Kanu is fighting for. That's what he's fighting for. And having said this, I will now go to Nwada Nneka Chimezie's video to show you what she said. Just give me a minute. Let's bring Nwada's video quickly because we don't have a lot of time.
Igbo bụ Igbo, ekene m unu ọlọlọ Nneka Chimezie na-ekwu, aka na-ewetara unu ọnọdụ Igbo. Tata bụ ụbọchị ụka, aka nọkwa na Abuja na-ewetara unu ọnọdụ Igbo. Enwe ihe m chọrọ ịgwa ndị Igbo anyị gbasara ndị otu MKA Maazị Nnamdi Kanu. Ọtụtụ n'ime anyị na-amara ife emere n'ala Igbo ruo anaghị ekwu na ndị ụmụaka anyị mere nya bụ ihe. Mana ihe m na-agwa Igbo bụ Igbo n'ụtụtụ abụ anyị atụlele gaa nyocha wee mata na ihe mere n'ala Igbo bụ nnukwu aghụghọ ka a ghọrọ anyị nwa bụ ndị Igbo. That is ụdị mperi eriri anyị tụọ ekeghe. Unu ọmakwa unu nwa bụ ndị Igbo n'ọmakwa kemgbe ma politicians ga-ene m ntị, ndị eze ga-ene m ntị, ndị na-azụ afịa ga-ene m ntị. Politicians m ga-akpọ afa Gọvanọ Charles Soludo, Gọvanọ Peter Mba, Gọvanọ Chioda Gọvanọ Alex Oti, Gọvanọ Hope Uzodimma na Gọvanọ Nwifuru of Ebonyi State. Ihe a the 5 southeastern governors. Enweghị ndị nọ n'ọcha unu nọ wee pụọ. Ọcha anyị nọsi anyị like ya tinye Godson or God whatever. Ị ga-apụ. Gọvanọ Hope Uzodimma tụlee ọnọdụ Rochas today. Rochas tụlee ọnọdụ Ọhakim gụnwa tụlee ọnọdụ Achineke Udenwa n'ụbọchị tata. Then abịakwa na Anambra State, Charles Soludo nene Obiano gụnwa nene Peter gụnwa nene Ngige gụnwa nene Mbadinuju. Onye chụsị onye efe. Ị bịa na Enugu State, Peter Mba ngụ nene gburugburu nene Chime gụnwa nene Nnamani. Ị bịakwa na Abia State, otu gị nene kedu afa former governor of Abia State, onye nke anyị nene Tiodoji nene Ọjị Ụzọ Kalụ. Nna anyị ukwu Ọjị Ụzọ Kalụ na-akwa ya bụ ụzọ kwa mgbe Krismas Tinubu eji eme election. Ndị a ji ya na ihe uche EFCC ọ na-agụzi ka parrot. So ihe ji wee ngwụcha ihe niile ndị a bụ na pawa anụnwa na vacate ya vacate ọ dị tọrọ mana decision ọbụla iteke na emume ọbụla i mere mgbe ị nọ na pawa na-enwere ọnọdụ ọ na-edebe Igbo. Ihe mere na Igbo ji nọrọ at our barest lowest minimum now bụ ọnọdụ ndị representịrị anyị debere anyị ihe ha mere decision ha tekere. Enwe decision ị ga-eteke ya lift to the lot of ndị Igbo nwee nke ị ga-eteke obodo anyị. Ile anya bụghị na a na-emejalize mmadụ nwe onye ga-amajalize nwu ndị Igbo na this whole country. Ọ anyị nwaje nwaanyị na-ana. Ọ bụrụ anyị jụọ nwaanyị na our political leaders mgbe ha bidoro menwe accept conditions ka ha wee nọ n'ọchịchị mgbe aha ka ha give away our rights as Nigerians. Afọ Nnamdi Kanu na-atọ ugbu a bụ ihe ha mekọnatara wee kechie anyị tii na bọtụl. Nnamdi na ndị ọzọ tiwe mkpu Nnamdi was already bold enough to confront the situation. Gbawa nlekele ka otu anyị ga-esi nweta ha were kwe Nnamdi chikwe na bọtụl kwa. Rochas Okorocha apụọla. Ọ manejiri IPOB. Obianọ bịa maneji IPOB. Gburugburu bịa maneji IPOB. Ndị raizụrụ mgbe ahụ Ụmahi bụ onye bi ya n'isi. Ụmahi ana m agwa gị ka ị na-anụ olu m. Ihe niile anyị na-eme imecha minista dị m sure na Tinubu banye ege na enwere ihe a ga-enyekwa gị nke m ji mara ha. Mana imechari ị ga-elotukwe ọwụ oge ewu mbụ wụrụ minista ọwụ oge ewu mbụ wụrụ gọvanọ. Ụmụ ndị nọrọ n'ọchị ahụ n'otusi. Mana ihe ị na-eme na decisions ị na-eteke nwere ịdabụgo ndị Igbo obuto ndị Igbo. Nna agwa gị na your decision ndị niile na-represent anyị ugbu a most of you not all of you because enwere ndị ka na-eshi ọnwụ one na one. A house that is divided against each other cannot.
Decision in a make me an Igbo leader. Even political leader, actually political leader, don't misunderstand it. Political leader includes me wonishi munna, me wonishi village, me wonishi community, me wonishi parochial organization, me wonishi club. Maybe show any organization in on here. You are there, and since you are there with condition, you are giving condition to be in any position. You are representing the Igbo people, the Igbo race, in that position, and you are there with a condition. Somebody is giving you a condition before you take that position, and the decision you are making is affecting us. It will continue to affect us. Even when you die, the one Zeke made now, where is Zeke today? The one that Zeke made, where is him? Oba Biasika, where is him? All those people that have made wrong decision for selfish interest, where are they now? After they have died and gone, we Igbo race, we are still suffering from it. That's what this lady is talking about. That those in power should know that it is temporary. You will go, you will come, it's come and go. So when you are there, try to make the right decision for the benefit of the Igbo race and not personal interest. Let's continue to watch her.
Not stand. Ekerigo. I know no fair bet, and the Yanato Boda would join on your windy wejo phobia. Why do you have no phobia on your blasa? Manahaji political powers and appointment. Now, what you say, I can do your judging your appointment. I got one or dig a debut. On your cage, when in a bottle. When are you on this period? Or to 3 hen money and when catapa. And then we go, and then this anyama. Actually, in Araya Libu, Bala Muhammad, the fellow governor of Sibuno Potasna, actually relocated the Fulanina and Nigeria. So come go no we kept on Morocco and Nnamdi Kanu. Or from Benue, how would you get from Jos Benue Batenugu? Awabam, Awasaboka. I lose ala Igbo. I get a good Nnamdi. Now, over awareness to create. Man, on yana kebu na chokunu blackmail on Nnamdi ihe no na ebra ko na akpọbata ha. Ofari ri okam ji wee bịa. Tata. Adụm maka unu wee keep your job na mabacha na APC. Anyị enwere nsogbu. Ndị Igbo anyị adịbụghị mbọ enwe nsogbu. Hope ịpụtara gbụwa aka na gọvanọ enwe onye nyere gị nsogbu.
What Nwada Nneka is saying here is that these Fulani terrorists that you are saying, oh, they are in Benue, they are in Kwara, now they are in Kwara. They've been in Enugu, they've also been in Ebonyi. They are in Imo State. In fact, they are all over the eastern region. They are just waiting to receive command. Once they receive command, the Igbo race will be gone. Our land and resources will be gone. That's where she's touching hand. Ndi Igbo, you are doing, I don't care. Obasadagi. Man, oga abasagi. Oga abasagi. Obasalagi. Tetenola. Muganyagi. Because none of Britain, we are waiting together. We have different value systems. We're not the same people. Can I give you one dance?
Ọ kwajepụtakwa na TV saa anyị na ọ bụgodu lọsọ ọsọ mmadụ labụ from Imo steeti ị ga na-achị ha nna aha anyị chee na-asị ịpụtasị anyị isi ha anyị na inweta ya by election nke iji ọnụ gị kọwaa na nwa nke m jisiri ike dọta so ị mere ka ị mara na ị dọta ya dọta you grabbed it then gwakwana anyị na ị ga-edefend ya ogodo ịkwafu ọbụla ihe niile nọ n'Imo steeti ogodo na mmadụ labụ fọsịrị lee ga-achị ala ahụ imezule ihe ikwuru mana ihe anyị na-ayọtị gị nna ya ukwu hope ị nọrụgo biko kwe ka ibiri kwapụrụ anyị ebube agụ ịkpọtara kwapụrụ anyị aside keyboard then isi aka gị dị ọcha n'ihe mere na ọsụ wọdụ iro from ọsụ to ihe ala wọdụ ya arụmanya ịrụmanya ka ebe ahụ mepee maka ebe ahụ ada agati ya aga enwere pattern m chọrọ ọ dị ka enwe esi ichi kọpụta some places ama m ihe a ga-eji eme mana isi aka gị dị ọcha n'ọrụ anyị nya bụ iro ọzọ dị ka ibie m na-ayọ n'ụtụtụ a tupu m emechie bụ biko na Igbo leaders Igbo bụ Igbo ana m akpọ ndị governors ana m akpọ ndị senators ana m akpọ ndị House of Reps ana m akpọ ndị PG ana m akpọ ndị eze ndị Igbo nọ na diaspora ayụyọ ikpere m nọ n'ala ihe ọbụla m pụtara gwa unu take it to the bank ọ bụ eziokwu maka na achọrọ m ka na Igbo anyị dị mma ka glory of Igbo chiata azụ ihe ọbụla unu ga-eme protect IPOB menia kama na unu chekwazie ha gbazie ha olu unu amụ ihe m ji kwuo kwa kemgbe after 1970 alụrụ agha ihe awụ mbụ ofu onye na-apụta chịkọta Igbo niile ha na-eso ya ụdị ihe a adịghị mma mmebi Peter mgbe echesi ọchịchị ị ga-elotu Hope ị ga-elotu Nwifuru ị ga-elotu Soludo ị ga-elotu otu ị ga-elotu mana ọnọdụ unu debere anyị ga-egosi ma ị ga-anwụ anwụ ma ị ga-adị ndụ unu ọhụrụ this young man pụtara nụ Igbo na-anụ ụda olu ya ụmụ okorobịa anyị na-anụ ụda olu ya unu ekwekwala ya unu ekwekwala ọkọkọ ya wepụta na ya chekwa na ya maka na agha daa onwekwa onye ga-achịkwata nwa Igbo karịa onye a after Ojukwu after 1970 this is the only young man m hụrụ pụtara nụ chịkọnata ụmụ okorobịa kwukwenye na ya agaghị ebu egbe ya agaghị ebu ube ya agaghị ebu mma I am taking my life with ihe m hụrụ n'ala Igbo na ọ bụrụ ndị IPOB na-eme ihe na-eme n'ala Igbo unu chọọ ndị okenye anyị ọbụla enwe ndị okenye unu kọmitii kpọpụtanụ m ka m nye unu report ihe m fụrụ n'ala Igbo maka na ọ bụ ihe niile aka m kwukwo ihe niile na-ayọ unu with everything we hold sacred unu ekwere ka IPOB chisa
unu ekwere ka IPOB tipịa ndị Igbo meghee n'anya unu unu ekwene ka IPOB tikwa kwado nu Maazị Nnamdi Kanu support on ya ka o si ebe ọ nọ wee fụta n'ọwa anyị niile nọ na-ewu. He is fighting for all of us. Look at how Nigeria is now. Everybody's the West have their afenifere. Now the North put as the Fulani put as they open with their own militia, and they are killing everywhere, taking lands, sacking communities. They are in Igbo land already. Jitedike ke aebuo, bosire dike mela chowa dike. Onya ka ada anyị nwaanyị na-ekwu. Ada anyị nwaanyị and Kolom Hadum Wisdom University. Anyị nwaanyị nọ na Kolom Hadum Wisdom University. I know highly in support of you. We are behind you. Even in Ikwu is supported. Ndị Igbo, open your eyes. Protect Maazị Nnamdi Kanu. Protect IPOB. Support IPOB. IPOB will even in need to give us Biafra so that we can be on our own, control our resources, have say in the world, be protected, develop our land, and all the people outside that have migrated will come back home. Whether you live in America, you will come back home with your children. United Kingdom, in France, in London, in Germany, in Australia, wherever you live across the world, you will come back home to Biafra land, to your homeland. Wherever you are living now, it's not your land. So Nwada, thank you very much for your presentation. And we will stop this one here. I want to show you another video that you would like to see also. Let me find it and show it to you. The one from, let me go to the one from Alloy Ejimakor and Sowore being released. Okay, this video is having some problem. Let me show you this other video from, okay, the close here. Let me show you this other video from this guy here, the guy that is crying in Abuja.
Yes, young boy, area council. I was in my shop 3 months ago. Some people just carry motor gun. Said they are from Sharia court of Gudu. That they are cheap litigation and chief registrar has auctioned my shop. I told them that I don't have any case with them. Why should they auction my shop? I built this church in 2012. I rent their phone shop in number. I rent one to somebody. They said the person in the shop is showing them credit. I told the person owner, why can't you go back his goods? That the goods inside that shop. They don't care about the goods. They say what they know is they want to take that shop. I tell them the side should come to the court and tell the people I'm the owner of the shop. I go there. Even though I'm a Christian, I tell them why should a Christian go to Sharia court? They say I must come if I'm the owner, that they will leave me my shop. I take all the documents to them. Even when I reach there, they even see the document, say they will do investigation. All I see today, they just come here, carry paper come, say that I auction the shop, that they are being handed over because I'm a Christian, because I'm Igbo. They collect my shop, Sharia court. Even if they will follow the law, as a Christian, what I have to do with Sharia court? They go to what is happening in Nigeria. They carry my case there. Even when I appear, they did not listen to me. They bring the other judge.
This guy, this is our brother, crying now in Abuja. If you have told him to join IPOB or support IPOB, he will not agree. He will say he's trading. He has 4 shops and rented one out. He's doing well. Oh, IPOB want to spoil his business. He lives in Abuja. Look at him crying. This is one Nigeria for you. They auctioned at his shop, the Sharia court, Sharia law. They use Sharia law in Abuja, in the capital city of Nigeria, Abuja, and auctioned his shop. His shop. How can you have 2 laws in one country. And now it's like Sharia law have more power over Nigerian law. That's what it looked like. The Sharia law is more powerful than Nigerian law. That is why they can use Sharia law to come and auction your shop. Even if you are a Christian, it doesn't matter. The Sharia law applies to everybody. In Nigerian capital, in Abuja, and most of our people are mutes. Most of our people say it's okay. As long as they're making money in Abuja, it's okay. As in Apalo, Ozu onye ọzọ, or look at Uhunko. But when you our own blood, let's continue to listen to him.
The judge that wants to ask what happened, they removed the judge, said that in charge of the who the moving judge. They removed the judge. The judge collected my goods, my shop for nothing. I done nothing. Even if I have case with them, I would have said that with me. But I don't have any case with them. I have not appeared before their court. I don't know commit anything. The judge collected my shop. They said because I am nobody. Nigerians help me, oh. Nigeria help me, oh. My life will finish, oh. EDM help me, oh. They collect my shop because I am a Christian. They should.
He's asking all those killing him to come and help him. Nigeria will come and help you. Just like when the bandits and the Fulani terrorists are killing people they are killing people in Nigeria. They are asking Nigerian government to come and help them. And an Igbo man, he's calling VDM to come and help him. This is what he's calling VDM. VDM now that people are pointing to as working against the interests of the Igbo race. That's the person he's calling. The Igbo people, we are in a big mess. And that is why Biafran restoration is our only hope. So wake up from slumber. Let's continue to listen to our brother.
Sharia court, I'm taking my shop. God help me, oh. 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 They connect my shop just to intimidate me. I have not case with them. If I didn't have case, I would say that have with me. But I'm not being in their court. I do any judge. They just connect my shop just like that. Just intimidation. Because of that man, I take the case to court. Judge connected the case and somebody. The judge said he has scanned the case out because I am nobody. He said I cannot report this for the court. Judge, that's not judge to come out my face. God help me. Woman right to come assist me. Woman right to assist me. Woman right to assist me. Woman right to assist me. I love from God.
Human rights of the colonial masters, human rights of colonial institutions should come and help you. Nigerian government should come and help you. Very dark man should come and help you. These are people that you are calling. This is what many of our people are going through. This is in Abuja. And you use this one to compare to what is going on in Lagos and other parts of Nigeria. This is what our people are going through. Then people that are even outside Nigeria are even suffering more. Our people that is outside Nigeria, many are suffering more than what you are seeing. That is why Biafran restoration is the only option. Let me go back to that video for Alloy Ejimakor and on my show. So it messes up again. I'm going to leave it. Let me go back there and see whether I can bring it back for you to hear what they said when they were discharged from detention. It's very, very important. Very, very, very important. You can see another one that is better. Oh, yeah.
When we take over. You are a leader. You are a leader. NNamdi Kanu now. 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 Who are paid to protect have become very likely responsible and only people. They themselves can't manage. See the mic.
This is when Sowore and Alloy Ejimakor was released from detention. So you have seen how they came out from the Kuje prison, and now let us hear what they have to say.
How far are this? Over. Yeah. Easy. You guys don't push. See. How far are this?
Benga.
Let's go.
Benga.
Put it together.
Finally, we've just been released from illegal, unjust, unwarranted, and inhuman detention by the Bola Ahmed Tinubu regime, orchestrated by his illegal IGP, and we're heading home. Hopefully. In fact, I'm supposed to be heading to Lagos for a protest for tomorrow. We are still checking on the flight if there's any flight.
Have you seen the warning from the Lagos State government?
No, they can warn themselves, they can't manage. They can't warn me about my rights. They are the ones who have to warn themselves about their responsibilities. Nothing going to stop me. This is not the first time people who are paid to protect have become very likely responsible and only people who exercise their rights. They can't warn me.
Okay, now in the build up to the protest, the police had actually issued a warning. They said they will contravene that warning by entering into the restricted zone, which was why the lawyer of NNamdi Kanu was also arrested. What's the
Lawyer of NNamdi Kanu is here. But before he speaks, I'm not a lawyer. What I know is that if a court gives an order and there's a contravention of that order, you go back to the same court to complain to the judge. It's not the job of police to take it upon itself to be enforcing court orders that they had interest in. But even if they don't have interest in it, there was a court order issued by a judge saying don't go to certain areas. If you want to review the order, you go back to the court. If you want to complain that the orders were violated, you go back to the court. So the police, being an irresponsible organization in Nigeria, took laws into its hands. And I can guarantee you that those court orders were never served on us. If you look at the Schedule 3 of the court order, it says serve them by Friday. So no court order was served on us. But assuming it was served on us, even our courts understand that there are certain areas of boundaries we cannot cross when it comes to fundamental human rights.
Okay, it's been alleged that the reason why you spent a long time in detention was because you called the weapon for a useless IG.
No, it's not useless.
Okay, so what's your word to in terms of the justice system, seeing what played out when you were beaten and manhandled in the court?
It's not the first time. You must have seen a plethora of police attacks since 1992. Some of the police who attacked me had to fight for their retirement benefits a few weeks ago. So it's to also tell the police that are doing it now that they will soon meet their Waterloo. There's no question about that. But most importantly, our goal is to fix the country. We can't be going after small issues, including individuals. The country we want to fix, that's what
place, not this individual police. I cannot be banding words, for instance, with the police PRO, who I know doesn't know his left from his right. I can't be banding words with the IGP, who I know no longer is no longer in the police force. And you cannot be IGP if you are not in the police force. So, and they understand that that's why they lose their mind. So I have.
You can hear Omoyele Sowore narrating his ordeal in the hand of the Nigerian police forces, how they arrested him like an animal. Remember that Omoyele Sowore is one Nigerianist. He's a one Nigerianist fighting for better one Nigeria. But still, see what he has been going through in Nigeria, trying to get that a better one Nigeria. Meanwhile, Fulani terrorists are rampaging everywhere, killing everybody. And there's corruption everywhere. There's lawlessness everywhere. When will it get better? Let's continue to listen to him.
I've been through about 7 presidents in my lifetime since probably more now, since 1992. Several police IGPs. Some of them have had to help in the course of. Some of them I had to assist where they were even still serving. Yes. So these are not issues that bothers me a lot. Anybody who is doing what they do knows that your second vacation home is prison.
The service chiefs, I need you to comment on that.
The service chiefs, let me tell you, I was the first to complain about that one who said he wanted to defense Nigeria. Musa, that one doesn't know his work. He's still even better than Ebeto. Ebeto should have been fired if Tinubu were to be serious. But you know, I'm not an advisor to the president, and I particularly don't care what Tinubu does with illegitimate regime, honestly.
So, Barrister Alloy, please, we would like you to share your experience, considering the fact that if you were actually living in denial on the day you were arrested. And what has this experience actually taught you?
Well, this experience is traumatic, right? Speaking honestly, it's traumatic for me. It's traumatic for my colleagues, everybody. If you say traumatic in the sense of the manner of the arrest, it was very brutal. People who were cooperating with the police were being shoved around, being beaten up, and some of them sustained injuries.
Alloy Ejimakor is saying that the arrest was very, very traumatic, that Sowore sustained injury. Yes, we sympathize with Alloy Ejimakor's arrest, but for us at NNamdi Kanu, we believe that these NNamdi Kanu lawyers should not have come out of the to protest. After it was Omoyele Sowore that came up with that idea to protest to free Nnamdi Kanu. They will have allowed Sowore to do his thing and then go back to do their work, to do research on the court case coming up. The court case of Nnamdi Kanu is more important than that protest. That is our opinion at NNamdi Kanu Wisdom University. They don't have to come out to protest. They have a big case coming up on the 27th. 2024 or so. And so for us, they're supposed to go and be preparing for this case that is coming and not coming out to protest. So let's continue to listen to Alloy Ejimakor.
Tear gas canisters were deployed directly at most of us. 2 had impact on me. And in fact, if we didn't have strong lungs, some of us would have given up the ghost on the spot. I don't think that type of brutality has a place in a well-ordered modern society. This is the type of thing that we need to do away with in Nigeria.
Alloy Ejimakor is saying that they experience a lot of brutality. They even threw tear gas directly to them, that if they don't have a strong lung, they will have just died on the spot. That to tell you how crooked, how wicked the Nigerian police system works. That is what he's saying, that they will have died. They threw tear gas directly on them. That is what very, very traumatic. It was very, very painstaking what they did to them. That even Omoyele Sowore sustained some injuries, by them trying to arrest him. How can you make arresting of somebody a battle? Why can't you give the person free choice to just walk into the vehicle that you came with to carry him? Why should you make it into a fight that you are injuring somebody? You are throwing tear gas in front of them. So many people are sick. Many people are not well. And not everybody can go through that kind of trauma like Alloy Ejimakor is explaining. Let's continue to listen to him. It's very, very, very sad indeed.
At the police headquarters, CID, Gariki, the command, they deployed canisters, several canisters of tear gas just to get us to bundle us into vehicles that will take us to Abuja. You didn't need to do that because we were already under your control. So that's something that should abhorrible and should be condemned by all and sundry. It is not good, it's unlawful, it's brigandage, and it is executive rascality in high places.
While you were in detention,
Alloy Ejimakor is saying that it's executive rascalism because it is executive that is giving, that is commanding the forces, both the police and the army. So it is the executive that is issuing directive to the police that make them to be acting the way they are acting. Because in this foreign democracy that they introduce on us, our people have just bastardized it. They messed up that system where you don't have any more checks and balances. The executive is wielding much power, influencing both the judiciary and the National Assembly. That the National Assembly president and members are under the presidency. They are no longer independent. So also are the judiciary. And then the forces, the armed forces, the police forces, all of them are being used by the executive just lawlessly. That's what Alloy is explaining. So let's go to listen to him.
Now, we are starting to hear that you say what's your opinion? Considering the fact that you also have
when the protest was directed, let me make this clear. The protest was directed against the presidency, not against the judiciary. You know, there are things that come first. If the presidency or the executive branch of government does not put you up for trial, no court has the authority to initiate prosecution against you. So if you know, it's a question of where to place the blame. I've noticed a lot of understanding as if we are protesting against the court. No, the court.
Anyway, I will end this clip here because everybody knows that the foreign democracy that we are practicing in Africa, especially in Nigeria, that they have messed it up, that the presidency is the one that is influencing everything going on in the country. If President Bola Ahmed Tinubu decides to release Nnamdi Kanu today, he will release him. He's the one holding him. So both the judiciary and the National Assembly and everybody is under the presidency. It's not supposed to be so. Judiciary is supposed to be independent. The National Assembly is supposed to be independent. Even the police and army, there are some command you give them, they will say, no, they cannot do this against their citizens. But it's not like that. It's not the case in Nigeria. That is why you have all this lawlessness going on in Nigeria. And then to summarize this lecture, because it's been a while, we're putting together the Nnamdi Kanu trial of 10/27, 25, which is, and also we included Nwada Nneka Chimezie's video, advice to the Igbo race, and then our brother who experienced Sharia law in Abuja, which means Sharia law is now higher than the Nigerian law, which means we are in a Muslim state. Nigeria now is practicing Sharia law. We are in a Sharia state. Nigeria is seen as a Sharia state. They are practicing Sharia law all over the place. If Sharia law can be in Abuja, the capital, they're using it to auction an Igbo man's shop, who is a Christian in his, according to him. And Christianity did not save him. Members of the Christian church did not save him. That also tells you that the churches, the Christian religion is not helping anybody in our land. And also we show you the video of Omoyele, Sowore and Alloy Ejimakor coming out from the detention from Kuje prison. And with this, you have seen everything that is going on in Nigeria, in the rottenness of Nigeria, both the judiciary, the police, the Sharia law, and other vices going on in the country. And we are asking all Igbo people, all Biafran people, to support Nnamdi Kanu, support IPOB. IPOB is the only organization that can protect and defend our people. Because in the West, you have Afenifere, they're there. In the North, their militia is working. You see what they're doing everywhere, including in Nwada, in Enugu State, in Ebonyi State, everywhere in Anambra State. And so support IPOB and know that we have been living our life before the Europeans came to that geographical area and say, Igbo man, Yoruba man, Hausa man, come and be together. We don't have the same value system. And with this, we shall bring it to this lecture time. And please comment, like, share this lecture to get to your friends and well wishers. Thank you for joining us. Today, we're supposed to do a 2-lecture series with one of my anchors, one of my, guests. And so we also have told you, if you want to appear with us in an interactive section, let us know in the comment section. Also, if you have a business to advertise, let us know in the comment section. We shall accommodate you. And with this, we shall bring it to this lecture. And thank you very much for joining us. Our next lecture will come up in the next maybe 1 hour. Thank you. Bye-bye.